Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today I am going to be showing off my brand new C6 Lynette, trying out her teams, and doing some testing in the Abyss. So let's get straight into the video. Stop looking at the bird, Lynette. Good morning, gamers. Today is a really cool day. Today is all about Lynette, stop looking at the bird. Oh my god. Today is all about Lynette, stop looking at the bird. Leave it alone. Why is it circling me? I'm gonna kill it. It's ruining my... Today is all about Lynette. So for those of you who don't know, I have always had a massive interest in building Lynette as a DPS. However, I think Lynette is a very weirdly built character or weirdly designed. I think she isn't designed to be animo support for swirls, even though at C0 you would think that, because she doesn't really gain any of her DPS capabilities until at least around here. But especially with her C6, I feel like she was a character that was designed to be a DPS, but they just hid it behind constellations for some reason, because she's not that good at swirling animo, but as a DPS she's really strong, or at least she has the capability to be very strong. I wouldn't say too recently, but a little while ago I was able to finally get my hands on her 6th constellation, which gives her animo infusion and an animo damage bonus for 6 seconds after using her E, and obviously with her... which one is it? Is it this one? Yeah, she gains another use of her E at C4, so it basically gives you 12 seconds of animo infusion, which is about the average length of a rotation. However, my main issue with Lynette, whilst I really like her personally, and I think she is a really fun DPS that I've been testing out recently, I don't think she is the most free-to-play friendly character in the world. Her team that I have her on is not only very high investment, but it's a high cost team. You have 2 5-star units, as well as a C6 4-star, a 5-star unit with C1, and a 5-star unit with C2, signature weapons on everyone, as well as a 5-star weapon on this 4-star. But first off, we should probably cover my Lynette build specifically. My Lynette is obviously standing at level 80. This is a general rule of thumb if you're new to this channel. All of my characters are level 80, apart from a handful before I stopped level 19 characters. TLDR, I'll get there eventually. I will level them to 90, I promise. But at the current moment, she is level 80. She is at 56 over 193. Before you cry at that crit rate, she is on Varesanette Hunter, so it is 56 plus 36. She's at around 92% crit rate with the full stacks from Varesanette, which obviously, because I usually run her with Varesanette, she's able to stack them quite quickly. She does have her own HP drain, so she can naturally gain some of the stacks of Varesanette. I just don't think it's as consistent without Varesanette, so do with that what you want to. But yeah, 56 over 193. She does ascend with animo damage bonus anyway, and obviously she'll gain that once she uses her E, so she's actually at around 84% animo damage. I do currently have her on Wolffang. Depending on if I want to really test her out, I do swap her over to my other Mist-Splitter that I have. I believe one of DPS Lynette's best in slot weapons is lighter foliar incision, so that is certainly a weapon that I have my eye on. But at the current moment in time, she's on this Wolffang. I will refine it for her just in general. It gives increased damage to her skill and her burst, and increases crit rate a little bit. It's an okay weapon. It will do for now. In terms of her pieces, she doesn't have the most amazing pieces in the world. I mean, that is 13 crit rate, which is quite high. This one's okay. This one again, 20 crit damage, pretty good. This animo damage goblet is absolutely insane. I forgot that I had this on her. So yeah, this is her one really good piece. I'll give her that. And then she's got this one. Obviously, the crit rate is a little bit more redundant. She is on 56. The cap for Varesanette is 64. So she has a little bit of wiggle room. She has about, give or take, more towards 7 because of that 0.6. Obviously, she's C6. She is 888. I do think I would probably end up crowning her normal attack rather than anything else. Obviously, if you want to build her as a swirler, you can build her as a swirler, but I don't. I'll do a quick overview of the main team. I have actually made a video when Xianyun had her first rerun. I did actually make a video about her. Since then, I have been able to get her C2, which I didn't at the time of that video. So that's a massive upgrade for me. But here is my Xianyun. My Xianyun has 3,400 attack, which I can't remember what her cap is off the top of my head, but I'll put it in post. She has her signature weapon R1. Most people will want to have her on Varesanette Venera for the increased swirl damage as well as elemental res for whatever element gets infused. Because obviously this is an Anemo-based DPS team, because you can't swirl Anemo itself, Varesanette Venera becomes a little bit more redundant in this team with Lynette, so obviously Song of Days Past is a much more beneficial set in this case. She is double A. I did level this for some reason. I don't know why I did that. Farina, she's Farina. I know she has low HP. I'm currently reworking her build. Don't judge me. I'm working on it. She's on 77 to 55 with 168 energy recharge. She has her signature weapon R1. She is on Golden Troop. She is C1 and she does have AAA because sometimes I like to mess around with DPS Farina. And then finally we have Varesanette. Varesanette to me is one of the key players for a Lynette team. You could not have Xian Yun and build her as a normal attack DPS. Personally, I really enjoy her as a plunge DPS, but Varesanette is a main contender for one of Lynette's best supports if you want to build her as a DPS. Unfortunately, a lot of her potential as a support for Anemo DPS does lie behind her C6, which is unfortunate, but you know, you just gotta sort of get them when you can. She's on Skyward Harp R2. I would like to get more of these. If I had a second elegy for the end, I would probably put that on her above Skyward Harp just for its buffing capabilities. Skyward Harp does work. My Varesanette does have a damage build. She is on 7168. She is on Tenacity of the Millilith. However, I am gonna add a small disclaimer here. You can only run Varesanette on Tenacity of the Millilith if you have her C6. Varesannette's C6 creates pressurized collapses with her burst. So, for those of you who don't know how Varesanette works, this is a pressurized collapse. That is only triggered by her elemental skill until C6, and it hits every 3 seconds, so it lines up perfectly with the Tenacity of the Millilith buff. This set is obviously going to be hidden behind C6 as well. I had C6, so that's why I built her like this. It's just a general overview of her pieces. None of them are particularly fantastic, but yeah, I actually really enjoy Varesanette as a damage build, and obviously Tenacity can be beneficial, especially because most Anemo DPSs do scale off of attack. I say most, pretty sure all of them do. I don't know why Xian Yun is at so low HP. Let me sort that out really quick. So I figured we could see how much honestly, it's been so long since I've tested this team out, and I don't think I've tested it since I got C2 Xian Yun. This is gonna be a test for me as well. I have not seen the full damage potential, and when I built my Lynette originally, I don't think the Abyss was very good for her at that time. So I'm interested to actually see what the Abyss is like with her when it's actually not on a bad rotation. Okay, should we go and try it on Tried and True? We won't use any food for this. When we're doing the big showcase later, we might use some food. But for now, we're raw dogging it. So the general rotation is going to be pretty much the same. It's going to be Farina, EQ. I'm going to Varesanette E here, burst. Then I'm going to burst with Xian Yun. I'm going to do 1 E rotation to get her buff from one of her constellations. 46,000. I accidentally did the E twice. I think that's 100, 110, 112. Not bad. That wasn't that bad. I thought that went quite well. I just want to make sure that that was a consistent number. So I will just go and get my burst up once again. Gonna try the exact same thing. Farina EQ. I'm gonna Varesanette E charge shot into burst. I'm gonna burst with Xian Yun. I'm gonna do 1 E. I'm gonna burst with Lynette. I'm gonna E with Lynette. I'm gonna jump. 110, 112, 117, 110. And then I went into physical damage at the end. Honestly, really not that bad for a 4-star to get 117. It's not awful. It could be better. It could be worse. Should we try it with Mist Splitter to see what the damage is like? We'll use the R1. Sorry, we'll use the R1 Mist Splitter. So she goes to 31 just for consistency's sake. I will eat some crit rate food. Farina EQ. Varesanette. Burst. Burst with Xian Yun. 1 E, burst with Lynette. Okay, so that's 59 on the E, 136, 147, 148. 148 seems to be the highest. So honestly, a pretty decent increase. Obviously that makes sense. It's crit damage and it's got higher base attack, so it's going to be a better weapon for her. Should we... I'm just going to mess around, to be honest. We could try Varesanette with Elegy instead of Skyward Harp. That might help a little bit. Farina, EQ... Varesanette. Burst. E with Xianyun. Burst with Lynette. There we go. 66. 147. 164. I saw 164 in there. I saw 164 in there. I'm not sure if there's anything that we could really... What's the vibe on this? Should we do some Abyss run? Should we do an Abyss run? I think we should do an Abyss run. I honestly can't remember what the Abyss is like. I know it's set up for Electro-Charged in the first half, and I don't remember what the second half is. Hello, what's in the second half? Oh, it's the Night Soul's Blessing thing. We'll try her in the second half and see how she does. It might be okay. Oh, we do kind of need Pyro, though, for that one. We might be able to swirl the Pyro on the floor, though. You know, you never know till you try, I suppose. And we'll do my tried and true at the current moment in time for the first half. There we go. Right, let me just go and clear this half. I've been really enjoying that Aoife team. Honestly, this is my Lauma savings currently. I'm currently saving for Lauma. I am on a guaranteed and I'm at 55 pity. Do you know how hard it is to not pull more constellations off this man? And Aurora. I'm at C5 and I'm so close. Right, okay. I need to actually... What am I doing? Okay, same rotation as usual. And then burst. E... am I not critting? Ah! Ah! Okay. 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 We're swapping, everyone. We're swapping. Anyway, I can't see my numbers. That was 101. That was 140. That was 157. Okay. Okay. I want to swap back to her crit rate weapon, because we're not getting any crits. Like, at all. Off of Miss Splitter you go. Get back onto Wolffang. And Varesanette, I'm going to put you back on your weapon. All right, back in. Right. Let's go. $119. Okay. A 2-minute clear. Not that good. I've just realised I put plunging on both halves of this Abyss. I just like to jump! Ah, shit. Okay, yeah. We're not gonna clear that half. We could try taking it to Raiden and see if that does anything. We'll try taking it to Raiden and see what Raiden can offer, and then we'll start talking about alternatives. Oh, Raiden! Where are you? I hope she doesn't kick my ass in the first 2 seconds of us starting. Xianyun! Nearly a 1 phase. I want to restart. I want to restart. Don't kill her. No! This is awful. Right, I've got this. I'm locking in. I'm locking in. Bitch. Ha. Suck it. Well, we didn't 1 phase her, but we did kill her before she went into her Musa no Hitachin state. So I'll take that. So in terms of other teammates that you could swap in instead of these 3, there are a couple of units that I think could be interesting. Mainly, Varesanette is a little bit finicky. So Bennett becomes a really interesting contender. There is one thing you should note though about Bennett. His C6 Pyro infusion will overwrite her Animo infusion at C6. Just to show you. Wakey wakey. I'm gonna burst. And see how the E is still Animo damage, but my normal attacks that should be infused are now infused with Pyro and not Animo. While you definitely can run Lynette as a Pyro DPS in this sense because of C6 Bennett, if you just want Bennett's buff, you will have to keep him at C5. The main point of this team is to get as many buffers or damage increases as you can to buff your Lynette as much as possible. So generally speaking, most buffers that can either transfer damage to her, give her elemental damage, give her attack percent, can increase and can work. The only ones that I don't recommend is a unit like Jalonan. Jalonan's kit does not work with Lynette, unless I would imagine you're running a Pyro infused or a Hydro infused or a Cryo infused Lynette instead of Animo. Jalonan's gonna do nothing for you. Don't run Jalonan in this team. If you plan on topping up this patch, I cannot recommend using Loot Bar enough. Loot Bar is a secure game trading platform offering both game top-ups and item trading for a fraction of the price offered in store. They support games such as Genshin Impact, Honkai Star Rail, Zenless Zone Zero, Wuthering Waves, Infinity Nikki, Love and Deep Space, and many, many more. The process is also super easy. I'm going to be topping up in Genshin to show you. Simply select your desired pack, enter your account UID and region, choose the way that you'd like to pay, and it arrived before Mualani could even finish her idle animation. But you don't just have to take my word for it. Loot Bar has over 20,000 positive reviews with a 4.9 rating on Trustpilot. Please feel free to use my affiliate link in the description to start saving, and new users will also receive a 10% off coupon when joining. Thank you Loot Bar for supporting this channel, and let's get back to the video. Now, one team that I think would be really interesting to try is a Lunar-Charged team. While I am personally running her on Marechaussee Hunter, if you are running Lynette as an on-field driver for Electro-Charged / Lunar-Charged, you will want to swap her to Viridescent Venera, which I am just going to very quickly do. I've just given her a quick swap over. I am gonna run her on... I don't really want to use a 5-star weapon. I'll keep this a little bit more open since I actually think that this is a good free-to-play one. We'll start with Iron Sting and then I'll do a little showcase on Freedom Sworn as well. So she has 787 EM. So let's try this out. Ironically, I think this team will be quite good in the current Abyss, so we'll definitely make sure to try this one out. What am I doing? Where am I going? So I am gonna... I mean, pretty decent damage. Oh, come off it. There we go. So yeah, it's definitely an okay team. I imagine if we tried it with Freedom Sworn, it would most likely be significantly stronger. Okay, not too bad. 37 Lunar-Charged. 37 seems to be relatively consistently the highest we're getting. Honestly, not awful. Not bad. I kind of liked that. And then we'll just do the tried and true butt slam. Let's go. Honestly, not bad. That honestly kind of ate. Bonk. Okay, honestly, it kind of works. Okay, this is one that we can actually test out with this one. Get here. That was a near 60-second clear. I honestly enjoy this team a lot more than I thought that I would. I'm a big fan of crit build Lynette, especially plunge Lynette. That was really fun. That was a really, really fun team. The only thing that I will say with this team specifically is obviously you have Inefa, which isn't the most free-to-play friendly. I know a lot of people skipped her. You can swap her in for any character. Somebody like Raiden would definitely work. You also have Yaimiko as an option if you have her, or even just the absolute tried and true Fischl can definitely work here instead of an Efa and just do plain old Electro-Charged. Lunar-Charged is great, but Electro-Charged still works. In terms of Hydro, you could do something really interesting if you wanted to. If you had Candace in this team and you didn't have a C6 Lynette, you could still do Lynette as a driver for Electrocharged. You have her as Hydro instead of Animo. That could definitely work. The only reason I dislike Farina in this team, Lunar-Charged is a transformative reaction, meaning that damage bonuses won't increase this damage. That's why I personally don't like Farina. I also just feel like Farina is better suited on other teams for the Abyss. I have really enjoyed Kokomi recently for Hydro application. I think she's very good. She also heals, which can be quite good if you don't have an Inefa with a shield. Sometimes teams can be a little bit squishier here and there, so some healing can also be highly appreciated. Someone I definitely forgot to mention earlier when we were talking about characters that can buff Lynette, Mona is number 1 on this list for free-to-play players. I consider anything on standard banner free-to-play. Mona is a great choice. I believe Mona was also recently changed to include Lunar-Charged damage in her constellations. This was a really fun team to play. The only slight change that I might make is because Lunar-Charged is based off of your entire team's EM, you could actually benefit more from perhaps a Cookie Shinobu here, above a Roron. I like a Roron because obviously he can hold Cinder City. His Electro application is very good, and his Burst Taunt works well in the current Abyss because the enemies will be affected by taunting. I really like this Lynette team. I did not think that I would like it as much as I did. Editing what's here, and whilst I've been editing, I came up with another idea that I wanted to try. Whilst I know she can't fully activate the passive, I wanted to try DPS Lynette with Varesa's plunging artifact set. This was mainly just to see if I could reach a higher crit. Since I only had Varesa's pieces to work with, which if you know me, are awful, I ate some crit rate food to balance out my ratio, and I went with Mistsplitter and Elegy for the end on Faruzan. And I was pleasantly surprised with the 170k crit hit. I did try swapping out the Animo damage goblet for an attack one, since she already has Animo damage bonus from her Ascension and Farina's buff, but unfortunately it didn't outperform the Animo goblet. Overall, a super fun build, and one that has made me consider rebuilding her. Lynette to me is such a fun and unique character. While her, in my opinion, main utility lies behind further constellations, there are definitely builds that you can try with her if you are free to play or just have lower constellations anyway. But she's super fun, and I think that she's a character that I want more people to try because I think she's very fun. She has on-field driver, she can be an off-field swirler, while I don't personally like it, and she can also just be a plunge DPS. Lynette is a great example as to why I think Xianyun is one of the best units in the game for making other characters more fun. That is the end of this video. It's a short and sweet one, but I hope you really enjoyed it. This video will be going out on August 31st, which means that tomorrow, when this video is out, is my birthday. And I've already had some very, very lovely birthday wishes from everybody in the community, so thank you so, so much. While I will still be uploading, I have pre-made a bunch of content for this week. I will be taking the week off for my birthday, so I promise I am taking breaks. I am looking after myself for everybody that was concerned that I haven't had a break. Thank you so, so much. If you would like to get me a birthday present, the Discord link is in the description. You should come and join and hang out. That would be really fun. That would be the best birthday present ever. Whilst I was filming my previous video as well, we hit 20,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you all enough for hitting that milestone. That is an insane thing to have achieved, and I am so, so, so grateful. On the 5th of September, I will be uploading my giveaway to celebrate. I am going to be giving away 10 Welkins, or Honkai Star Rail passes, or Zenless Zone Zero passes, whichever you prefer if you win. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. But thank you so much. I hope you have a very good day, evening, and night, wherever you are. And kiss, kiss, drive safe. Bye bye.